Okay, I'm back. I guess it cut you off. So we're finishing up the envelopes and making journaling cards for the insides of them. And this is paper cuts, by the way. The first one I put on pause, started sneezing and needed my glasses and all of that good stuff. And then I unpaused it and it deleted. Well, isn't that fun? So now I have to start all over again, but uh, hopefully you'll be able to follow along. I was telling you about my first job when I got here to Tennessee and what transpired. So, long story short, my manager wasn't very kind. He was very partial to the young, pretty girls, and not that I'm not pretty, but I'm not young. I'm not blonde. I'm very seasoned in my experience and very knowledgeable, but he treated me like I was 15 and had no clue. But the most important thing was he was rude. He was just rude all the time to me. And I was not very pleased by the treatment. So, anyway, long story short, I quit that job. So, I look for another job and I decide I'm going to accept a managerial job, manager in training for a Dollar General, which is right up my alley. It's retail and all of that. The first 2 weeks I was there, it was pretty good. I got some good training and all of that. And, not to speak badly of Dollar General, their philosophy, their business model, and all of that is very good. However, my particular store that I was training in didn't function like that. They would get anywhere from 4 to 6 trucks a week to unload. Our store was filled with product that we didn't have enough staff to unload. So roller carts were down all the aisles, boxes, just a mess. And it was like that for another month. And I decided I was not the right fit. It was very physical, and it was hard. So that's the back of the card. This is the front. I just put a tab on it. So now it's ready to slip in the envelope. I think with the tab on it, it may stick out. We'll have to see. If it does, I can cut it down a little bit. Oh, we're going to have to glue that down. There's a little piece that came up. So anyway, that was not the right fit. So I got an opportunity to manage. Actually, I went to interview for a leasing position at property, and it sounded right up my alley. But with all my experience in that, they offered me a property to manage. And I said, sure. So I really love the company I work for. Thank goodness, through times the charm. And I'm just going to round these bottom edges just so one, it goes into the envelope a little bit easier. And let's see if we can get this side now. Should probably ink it, and then we'll be done. So anyway, I started right before Christmas. My daughter and her boyfriend had planned on coming for Christmas for a week, and we had some things planned to do, and I was excited about that. So when I interviewed for the job, I let them know that, I had my daughter coming at Christmas and I would be unavailable for a week. So I worked 3 days, get some training in. My daughter flies in, her boyfriend flies in, and Christmas Eve we go to my brother's house and have a really good time. And then Christmas Day, we just hung out at home and munched all day and enjoyed each other's company. Well, the day after Christmas, we had planned, I'm going to cut off this flap here if you're wondering what I'm doing. I'm just cutting it off so that it doesn't interfere with my tab being able to pull in and out of the envelope. So the day after Christmas, we decide we're going to go up to Nashville to the Gaylord Hotel. They just really do it up right, and it's beautiful with lights and everything. And we're going to go ice skating. So that was one of my gifts to my daughter and her boyfriend. So anyway, on the way there, we have a tire that has what do they call it? It's like a bubble where it's about to blow is the bottom line. And we're at this gas station, not too far from the hotel that we're going at. So the kids decide, well, they're not kids, the young adults decide, because I left it up to them, that they want to just go ahead and take the chances, and if we get a flat, then we'll deal with it. We get to the Gaylord Hotel. So there you have it. That's all done. And then I'll put the little hinge on it when I put it in the junk journal. So here's the other one. And this has lavender on it. And that's going to go with this envelope. So I think I'm going to put the other paper on the back side of it. So we continue on. We get there, look around. It's beautiful. We go on out to the skating rink and rent our skates and having a hard time finding the right ones that fit, but we finally get them on. And the kids go on the ice, and I'm shortly behind them. And I get in behind this lady who is never skated in her life. Now, mind you, I'm not a spring chicken, but I do know how to ice skate, and I've roller skated most of my life. So it's not a foreign concept for me, but I do want to be careful. Anyway, I get stuck behind her at the entrance, and she's all over the place. Slipping and sliding everywhere, and I think, okay, this is dangerous for me. I need to go around her. Well, the ice wasn't totally frozen. It was kind of slushy, and I hit it just so when I went to go around her, and down I went. And I went down hard on my backside, banged my head. It bounced off the ice. Long story short, I was kind of knocked out a little bit. Paramedics came, got me off the ice. I kind of was coherent, but I was embarrassed, of course. And the short part of this story is I got a concussion. So I had to go get a brain scan to make sure there wasn't a brain bleed. And wrecked the whole vacation for my daughter and her boyfriend because I couldn't go anywhere. I couldn't do anything. I had a splitting headache. My equilibrium was, of course, off and just bruised and banged up. So, anyway, I go back to work. Well, I take him to the airport. I go back to work 3 days later. And, long story short, because of the concussion, I'm a little out of it. But, I get the brain scan. Everything's good. Yay, hey. I'm back at work. Get through the rest of the week. I had 3 days, and then Saturday, get COVID again. So now I'm down again. So anyway, I finally got through COVID, get back to work, and I'm now hopefully on a normal path. Not sure which tab I want to use for this one. So I'm looking up here trying to figure it out. Oh, this one's kind of pretty. Yeah, we'll use this one. So that was my holidays, and then New Year's came, and I'm just trying to get better, and finally I felt about mid-February like I had my brain back and was able to function at a normal level. But I tell you, it sure knocked the wind out of my sail and made me realize, okay, so all that adventurous stuff you've got to stop doing because you're not young anymore. I mean, I feel young, and I think I can do all those things, but, you know, if something happens, it really knocks you on your feet and takes you a while to bounce back. So here's this one, and here's the journal card for it. So I don't want to cut off, so I need to cut this down about a half to a quarter inch, I think. And then the tab won't be sticking out of the envelope. Let's see how that does. So yeah, it was kind of a tough go there for a while. And I missed several weeks of church, and this envelope is tore just a little bit up there. So I'm going to take a piece of paper and just decoupage on it so it makes it just a little bit more sturdy here. I'll take some music paper, I think. And that will strengthen that corner for me. I'm going to ink this a little bit. So, yeah, that's my story. You know, I'd no sooner finally find a job that's decent, and I'm really challenged and praying, Lord, let me keep this job because I really like it. So anyway, everything worked out. Amen. Thank you, Father, because it was a tough go. But now things have settled down. I'm better in the groove of things. I'm leasing apartments, getting renewals on my property, trying to do the best I can at work, which I hope is a good job. I think it is. I've gotten commissions already and bonus checks, and so financially it will be lucrative for me, and I enjoy it. So can't ask for more than that. I'm gonna let this dry before I bend it, because the music paper is kind of brittle, and with the glue behind it and all. Yeah. So there we go. That's our second one. We'll let this dry, and then I'll fold it over. So I hope all of you had a beautiful, here it is, the end of March, and I'm talking about Christmas. But, I had a challenging Christmas, so this card goes with this one. So I think I will take this. Let's see if this is big enough. Not quite. Well, once I put the little tab on it, it should be okay. Hope you can see I'm in frame. I'm kind of all over the place, aren't I? I get to yakking and forget what I'm doing. So I hope all of you had a much better holiday, and your year is starting out really good. For you. It's taken me a while to get my crafting mojo back. Just because, making the space, it's hard to craft when you don't feel like you have a decent organized space for your crafting, because that's part of it. Your creative juices start flowing when you have all your good stuff around you. A lot of my crafting stuff is, as I said last time, is still in boxes, but I, for the most part, have things that I need now, and I'm able to access things a little better. There we go. Now that little corner right there, I'm going to just put some, a little piece of the music on it. Get some of the white off. But at any rate, I am really enjoying it starting to get warmer, because we had a pretty cold winter, and I wasn't expecting it. So of course, a lot of my clothes I donated. Had to go buy some sweats and some things, but it's life. You don't need a whole lot. Got a cute little one-bedroom apartment, trying to qualify for get qualified, let's put it that way, for a house. I've been looking on the weekends, seeing what's out there, and I think, something's perfect for me out there. It just hasn't come yet. But, you got to do all your due diligence first. So, yeah. So it's all good, I'm going to corner around all of it. This one. Oh, that's loud. Anyway, I hope all of you are doing well. and you're able to get your crafting done. I've been staying up with my YouTube, you know, staying current on my YouTube, still watching all my friends craft and what they're doing. Haven't been on Facebook a lot, but I'm going to try to get back in the habit of checking that. And yeah, so it's all good. I think I'm going to put this fabric tab down. I'll put my, I got to get my fabric tech out for that. So there's that. And then we'll glue it a little bit on the other side. So yeah, I found that having my glue stored wherever it was stored in Los Angeles, most of it went bad, and I had to go buy all new glue, which can be expensive because prices these days on everything has gone up. So there's that one, and then it will go in this envelope. If I can get it in. Yeah. So that one's ready to roll. I think. So we just have this one for our little envelope. And I think this little sheet would be perfect. So yeah, I find that, you know, when something major happens to you, you know, you kind of lose your rhythm. And I got you know, kind of for several reasons, got out of my crafting, and I was really feeling unbalanced because crafting does keep me grounded, I guess is the word I want. So I had to get back into it. So I'm really glad to be back. And I was talking with my daughter the other day, and you know how difficult it was for me, and she didn't really realize that I was having such a hard time because I really didn't voice it, you know. I was just trying to buck up and do my best, but it was a tough time. Tough time. Plus, I was scared a little bit because I, you know, thought, oh my gosh, what if I do have a brain bleed and, or it develops or whatever, because, you know, nobody wants that. And I had to wait till my, all of that stuff. Oh, I forgot to tell you, when I first got here, I lost a tooth. I lost a molar. A tooth went bad. So it was one thing after another. And I just kind of, it took the wind out of my sail. And I'm back now, and I'm happy. So that's good. I didn't keep in touch with any of my friends for 6 months, pretty much, and they were all like, what happened to you? And, you know, but friends are important to have, and thank goodness they love you unconditionally, and, you know, they forgive you if you neglect them. So that's what friends are, you know. But I have all these little, well, some of them not little, but I have all these projects that I want to do videos on. I was on YouTube the other day, A Trace of Sparkle, Jennifer. She was on vacation. I guess she went to some beach place on vacation, and took a lot of her crafting stuff. Well, she inspired me to do these little fabric clusters that I want to do a video on with you. They are so cute. So yeah, I will be busy, busy, busy. So there's that one. Okay, so let's lay them all out. Get these big old honking scissors out of the way. Throw some of my scraps away. And then I'll show you. So we have this one with our tag. I think I should be able to fold this now. That glue is dry. Yeah, it's much sturdier. And then there's this one with this tag. And I'm going to keep the tags kind of plain because, you know, sometimes when you put things on them, they get fatter and hard to get in. And then there's this one. And then last but not least, our little one with our tag that we just did. So yeah, those are all done now. I'm ready to go into a journal. I've got lots of journals I have to complete. Well, I thank you very much for stopping by and chatting with me, or actually letting me do all the chatting. And I hope that your blessings are beautiful this week and you enjoy the weather. And we'll see you next week. Thank you. Bye.